But I've also been called this week to think about fasting, so which is very interesting that that is the collective. What more can you explain and help us understand for the collective about beliefs around food? Like, do we have to eat 3 meals a day? Like, what are our bodies originated to operate off of?
Your body's original blueprint is fruit. And that is because if you look at the ecosystem, there are many plants that have toxins in them that, and that's why a lot of people actually don't work very well on just a pure vegetarian or vegan diet, is because these plants, they create things to protect themselves because they have another job in your ecosystem. They have the job to transmute oxygen and carbon dioxide, and um, they also do photosynthesis, and they have a greater role in your ecosystem. But fruit, if you think about fruit, that is purely just here to be eaten. And that's why fruit is so good for you. But then other things have happened where you do need more than just fruit now because of certain things that have happened in your evolution. But your very basic blueprint is fruit. So you can actually live off of just fruit for a very long time, but eventually you will need other things like protein, but just not as much as you've been told. So there are three ways for your body to get the energy that it needs. There's direct sunlight, there is eating or food, and then there's breath work. And that's why you see people that are breatharians that can just live off of breathing. So you've been conditioned your entire life that you need to eat 3 meals a day. And this is because in the Industrial Revolution, they had to eat 3 meals a day. That you went to work, or you ate breakfast, you went to work, you had your lunch break where you all ate together, you went back to work, and then you ate at night. And this was to condition people into the same routine and to condition people to that you still needed to eat more than you truly had to, because at the end of the day, food is another form of consumerism. It also, fasting is also a beautiful way to connect you to your spirituality, because a part of this reality that you are in, if you're here to experience everything that you are not, then having to eat is a part of your soul experiencing what it is not. So when you fast, you're able to come back to your truest essence of self. You start to understand that food is simply just discomfort. It's a choice of how you're feeding yourself and treating your own body. So fast is a beautiful way to cleanse the unconscious mind of the behaviors and the imprints that you've had around food.
What's the difference between fasting and starving yourself? Because is that just a perception? Because people are who have certain belief systems around food, it can be described as an eating disorder. So what's the difference?
Your thoughts. Simply the only difference is your thoughts and your perception. So when you starve yourself, you are still pushing down some kind of emotion. There's something within you that says that you deserve to feel that discomfort, or there's some kind of emotion that you're trying to hide, like your guilt, shame, or unworthiness. But when you are fasting from a greater level of consciousness, then you are simply bringing awareness to the things in your life that are keeping you separate from source.
So would you have the same effects of like hair loss or some of those other things that happen when people starve themselves? Would that happen with fasting? Or is it the belief changes the outcome?
the belief changes the outcome, but also fasting is not something you should be doing all of the time. So it's great to do like a 24-hour fast, like once a week at most, especially if you're a woman. And it's just really also getting to know your body and building that loving relationship with your body. And as long as you're getting the minerals that your body needs, then you don't have to eat as often. So we don't really want to go too much into like the different kinds of minerals and things like that, just because it's so different for each person. But just to start with, every time you eat, just to really tune in with your body and ask yourself, how do I feel after this meal? Do I have more energy after this meal? Am I sleeping? What other ways do I have cravings after I'm eating? Because you should never feel more hungry or have any kind of cravings after you ate a meal if you're eating the right foods.
So I'm not supposed to crave dark chocolate after having a meal? Okay. I thought it was just I was being enlightened.